Okay, our next 30 minutes is going to be just a nice informal Q&A with two local gentlemen who are from the enterprise side. I'll introduce our panel leader. Stephen Thomas is with Frost & Sullivan, and he is going to engage in just a little dialogue about what this CTO and a CIO are doing today in the enterprise environment. So Stephen, come on up.
Hello, I'm Steve Thomas, and I'm going to invite Albert and Adrian to join us. I'll have a seat here in a second. I'll just give you 2 minutes about my background, and then I'll let the panelists talk about theirs. Being with Frost, just a little over a couple of years. I came from the industry of telecommunications. I worked for Orange Business for the first 15 years of my career, and then just before joining Frost, I was with General Motors in their enterprise IT organization. So I'll try to use some of that background to ask interesting questions to Adrian. So we'll get started. Since you're to the left, go ahead and get started, Adrian. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and the company you work for, and then we'll get into more questions. But give us a little background.
Yeah, sure. Well, hello everyone. I'm Adrian. I'm the CTO of Eurostar Media Group. We are a holding company here in Spain. We're based in Madrid and over the country. We are a holding group where we have different branches. One of the main branches is actually a research opinion company that is called Sigma 2, but we also produce content for TV broadcasters. For example, the Spanish media company here in Spain, RTVE, and other companies for Basque television, for any other regional televisions. I've been in this company for over the last 10 years, and I've been looking for different technology strategies and actually evolving and helping the company to get to a better point from the IT perspective, of course, aligning with the rest of the leaders of the company in order to get to where we are right now.
Hello, my name is Alberto Almajano. I'm the CIO Iberia of B. Braun. B. Braun is a pharmaceutical company, family-owned company from Germany. And our main focus is to provide products around hospitals. We cover the whole needs of a hospital, not only consumables, also all the instruments and materials that are needed in the operation rooms. And also we have a strong position in the dialysis clinics that we have around the world. And concretely in Spain we have 13. And 9 in Portugal. It's 3.5 years since I'm at B. Braun. I've been more than 20 years in the healthcare sector. And my main, when I started at B. Braun, the idea was to help the company to transform, to move through the digital needs. And we are doing great because we have started a new digital hub here in Barcelona. And nowadays, apart from being CIO Spain, I'm also the responsible for SAP globally and Western Europe head of IT.
Very good. So obviously CIOs and CTOs, it's not a day one job kind of thing. It's oh, sure. Yeah, thank you. So I was like, it's not an entry-level job. So how did you all get to your positions? I mean, how did your career, progress to be a CTO and a CIO? Maybe that's good for the crowd to hear.
Well, in my case, it started fighting against everybody. I mean, when you get into the tech department, you know that you are not just developing software or bringing solutions for the team, for the rest of the company. So you get to align with many of your peers on different departments, and it's just about getting to know their needs and actually understanding what is really heading the company towards better practices. So for starters, I remember the first years in the company was just like trying to introduce technologies that were actually very adopting here in Spain. For example, cloud services. I remember from going to on-premises to getting to AWS or Azure for our main software that we were actually deploying at the time. But afterwards, of course, nowadays everybody's integrating software for generative AI and many other solutions that we are actually trying to implement. But of course, it's always about try to understand the needs of your colleagues and of course the different solution that you are actually selling, because it depends on the kind of company you are. If you're just doing products for your own or you're actually on the B2B market, you are always needed to be heard and actually understand what the market is actually going.
Please.
Well, in my case, I was at the college, and I had very clear that I wanted to be a CIO. So I have very clear my idea. So it's more or less what Adrian mentioned. I think that the position of CIO, it's not a technical perspective. You have to be more management, to be in relation with other areas. This is really important. Communicate, not only inside your team, also outside the other areas, to receive, to understand what are their needs, how can you help. And what I have always tried is that the IT department has to be proactive, not reactive. And this means that we have to understand what is happening, and the only way to know what happens is to be outside the department, to be outside the office. And it's really important. When I started at B. Brown, one of my first questions is which day we can go with you, with the sales reps, to see your daily business. And they were really surprised. But you are going to come with us? Yes, for sure. I want to know what is your problems, your daily business. So I think that the people that want to do this travel is just to have very clear that the only way is just to be part of the business. It's the only way.
I think that's a good segue. I was going to ask a question around how you feel like you're moving the business forward in your current position. So you just kind of finished off by saying you feel pretty much included in the business, but in your role, how do you feel like you're helping them move the business forward?
Well, I think that the first thing is just not to say no to everything. And it's nonsense, but it's the reality. Many business areas are really concerned because the only answer from IT, it's always no, I don't have resources, or you have to wait till something happens. And in our case, the most important thing is how we can manage to be aware of what is the demand. Because if I am able to understand what is the demand that is going to come, I can be prepared to this demand before arrives. So when you are able to explain to the business areas why you are involving in the projects, when it's going to be done, and how they want people that explain what is happening. Just not an answer with no, it's not enough. You have to say no, but we are going to start your project next month or in 6 months or next year. But at least they have an answer. And I think that they really appreciate that there is this other way to communicate between business and IT.
And so, yeah, go ahead.
I totally agree. Actually, you need to understand and how they work, because many times they have many repetitive tasks, and they don't tell you that they are actually like, okay, I've got these sheets over here, and I need to be transforming it into any other data, and process is so simple for us. I mean, IT guys. For many others are just hours and hours and hours. So you create simple processes, but by just automating some stuff. And it's so simple for us, and for them are actually like getting a lot of free time to do very important stuff and productive stuff. So I've learned over the years that, of course, you need to be sometimes proactive and just understanding the minimal task they are actually telling to you, because those ones are very important for them and takes a lot of effort. And if, of course, if you just implement little MVPs that it'll take maybe 3 or maybe 1 month to deliver just to them in order to test it and in order to understand if they are really intended to be using that solution that was intended priorly, of course. But it's just asking, of course, and understanding their real needs.
So that's a good segue to the next question that we have, which is around, not everybody in the business is a technologist, right? So you're doing these MVPs to help give them ideas and things of that nature. Maybe explain some success stories you've had of, where you really wanted to apply a technology that would be helpful, but had to, explain it and build better partnerships with the people that are not so technical. So I'll let you go ahead and then.
For example, I remember one use case for one of the branches. As we produce media during and after COVID, of course, we understood new approaches for delivering content to the broadcasters. So the reporters that we got over the field needed immediate delivery for our content in order to be edited properly. So just by understanding the hours and hours they were actually taking into to the whole process, we just understood that, okay, you just need to be 5G connected and immediately deliver the content to our servers, and then we proceed editing and understanding that just by a simple thing, just, okay, get an eSIM in your backpack, and simple like that help us to deliver a new whole process.
In our case, I think that the best example is the organizational change that we did in the past, creating new figures called IT business partners, each one of them giving support to a specific area of the business. And I remember the first time I introduced the new guy to the quality manager, and she was really expecting, oh, this is an IT guy that's going to help me. And when I explained, yes, this IT guy is the new IT business partner, and he was a quality manager in another company. And she said, so he spoke the same language as me, so I can understand what he says, and he can understand what I said. And I said, yes. And with this, that is something so simple, but to put somebody in the middle that can translate from the technical perspective to the business, and from the business to the technical perspective, it changed a lot. Just as an example, with this change, we were able to, in the past we were more or less able to implement 50% of the whole budget that we had at that moment assigned. With this change, we were able to implement 99%. Why? Because these people talk the same language as business, and they know where the things are stopped, and they know how to move things on one side and on the other side. So the change was spectacular.
Very good. So being technologist, right? There's always some sort of technology that inhibits you from doing all that you want. So maybe you can explain some of the technical challenges you have in each one of your areas that it's a little bit more challenging to overcome than other areas.
Well, in our case, it's really easy to answer this because it's regulation. We are in a so regulated sector that everything is really complicated. Something that in other sectors is just 1 month, for us it's 2 or 3 months, because we need to prepare all the documentation, to prepare all the tests, to put all the documentation ready for any audit that we can have from different administration around the world, because we can have an audit from any administrative healthcare association from any country that we are selling. And also we have audits from our customers. So they come to see that their products are produced the way they want they have to be done. So for us, the most complicated thing is all related with regulation.
Go ahead.
In our case, it's actually, as we have many different inputs, some cases are much, we are very known, for example, fake creation content. Right now, as we deliver some of the content to the broadcasters, we are facing with many interferes during the process because, of course, we are in the field and we are delivering this content, but we are actually having some kind of problems because of social media content, and many of it is not being curated sometimes. So that is actually one of the main deals that we are going to face in the prospect future, actually, because all these new tools for creating content is going to get a little, it's going to give us a little headache during these years. And of course, he talks about regulation, understanding the information that we are actually using. One of the companies that is actually using healthcare data, it's very important that all the information, all the data government within the company is strictly anonymized because of the importance of the data and of course the sensitivity of the information, because of course we talk to individuals and it's not just companies, and we know if they are having some healthcare issue, but of course we don't know if it's Adrian who is the one having the issue. It's just a mail from some age in some place, and that's the information that we actually help the companies that are requesting us for that information. So different solutions, different problems that needs to be taken in different approaches.
Thanks for that. Obviously, you know, you're not doing everything alone. There's strategic technology partners in both of areas of your business. So maybe explain to us like who some of the technology partners are for you guys and how you're utilizing them.
Well, in our case, one of the strategic partners are the big four. When you start working with people that talks in terms of business instead of talking about terms of technology, the step you go forward, it's really huge. and I think that in our case, one of our succeed now and in the past was to have these business partners with us, because it's the same that I mentioned before. When you have somebody that it's talking with the business and understand what they need, and also can bring you the knowledge of what other sectors are doing and what other experience of other customers, and something that is really important sometimes to say no to some of the questions from the business, because sometimes people want, I want the moon, and somebody has to say no. And it's not the same that somebody of the company says no than somebody with the experience with other customers, other sectors, and say, we cannot do that because in other customers we try to do that and it was a completely failure, so it makes no sense. And this helps a lot. And when the business knows that the other people have this knowledge and understand and talks the same way that they are talking, they accept, and we advance a lot with the projects and with the results, because what is expected at the end of the project, it's more or less the same that they expected before the execution of the project. And sometimes this is really important, because the expectations are so high that when you technically give a solution, but it's not what it expected, they are a little bit upset. So with this, you can give an answer based on the expectations, and when the expectations are covered, people are happy. So it's a good advance.
We actually rely on many cloud providers right now, as we are mainly based on many different places, and we need the information to be well redundant. For example, we use AWS for the basic options as cloud services. We all know about them. But for example, right now, that we need to create some speech recognition, because we are working on a solution to go with the voice-to-text solution. We implemented some solution with Azure Cloud because it was easier to interact with as it has been evolving rapidly, and not even though AWS has some of the same solutions, but depending on the matureness of this kind of technology, we use many different approaches, because sometimes we need to be delivering some solution even though it hasn't to be perfect. So we're not looking for perfection. Sometimes we just need to be deliverable and just, okay, this is what we need right now, and let's see if this is the good approach for us right now. But of course, in terms of other providers, we use the APN that is actually helping us a lot, the AWS network, providing us companies for security or auditing ourselves, of course. So we rely on many other companies within actually in Spain, because I mean, we only had two hands, and even though we are 600 people in the company, but we need to rely on other people, of course, and that's how we grow up.
Sure. One of the previous panels was talking about how most digital transformations or digital projects are not successful. And so maybe explain a little bit how you've seen some of your digital transformation and your technology projects. What's making them successful? How is the business helping you with ROI to justify, and what's this kind of secret sauce for success for you guys?
Well, in our case, it's basically technology, early adoption technology that took us some time. I remember it was maybe 2019 when we were actually creating some sort of new AI algorithm to predict how the user will be interacting with our software and in our information. So just by creating that project that took us 2 years actually to get into the final step, has been evolving over the years, because all of our team is connected to that solution, and it's actually getting us a lot of input every single day. Okay, this is working, this is not. So just in matter of how the AI community and the different solutions and libraries that are being developed every single day, and how do you interact with it, implementing it within your own software, it's really important for us, because it gives the opportunity to evolve and to be a better product, and in many cases. Of course, this is not immediate, and the people need to understand that getting there takes a lot of effort, and sometimes we are mistaken, of course, because I mean, we are sometimes a very IT, we put the cap of the IT guy, and then my CEO comes and requests for something completely different, because we really didn't listen sometimes, of course, and that's one of the main problems sometimes when you do stuff like this.
Sure. Before I get to Albert, I want to mention it was 22 minutes before you mentioned AI in this panel, so very good. You guys keep us, talking about other things than AI for a while, but it is important.
I will continue without talking about AI.
Yeah.
I think one of the main causes of the failure of digital projects is because we don't involve properly well the business areas. I mean, the digital transformation is not only about technology, it's not only about IT, mainly it's about people. And you need that people have to be involved in the project, have to participate, and the business areas have to consider that this project is a company project or a department project, but not an IT project. If you see only the digital transformation as this is a project from IT, and we are the users, we are waiting, you have a failure for sure. and this is important to align, and I come back to at the beginning as a CIO, to talk with other areas, to talk with HR, to talk with financial, to talk with sales, to talk with the CEO, and to have the support in these initiatives. And the support is not, okay, you have the budget. The support is to show the organization that this is important for them, that this is important for the company. And when you have this, then the failure always is possible, but you reduce a lot the chance of its failure.
Sure. So we're sitting here in the 4 years from now space. Let's speed ahead 4 years and think about what are you doing today to prepare for the years ahead in terms of technology? In your particular role, each one of you kind of explain what that looks like.
Now I'm going to talk about AI. It's my moment. For sure, I think that in the next 3-4 years, one of the challenges is how we can adapt AI, but not a Copilot 365 for users. For me, this is not AI. This is AI, but only for regular use. For me, the important thing is how can we take advantage of this new technology to bring solutions to the business and to improve our processes. How we merge processes with AI. For me, this is the challenge that we have in the next 3-4 years.
I think for most of us, it's going to be like he mentioned, like Albert mentioned. I mean, it's going to be so quick how everything is going to turn out, because as we've seen in just 1 year, everybody has completely changed the page, and thanks to that, we are now facing with the AI generation right now for everything. It's completely, it's a very useful tool. So within a company like ours, maybe in 3 to 4 years, we have been actually developing AI solutions. And of course, if sometimes it takes you a year or 2 years, we know that it's going to take just a couple of months, because of the adoption of new technologies like that is going to help us create better solutions in a matter of just like that. It's really helpful, and it's quite unpredictable what it's going to take us for the near future. But we know that, of course, AI is one of our daily, is going to be in our daily basis.
No, absolutely. So as we kind of wrap up here, tell us how your roles specifically you think will change going forward as you continue this digital transformation. What's going to be changing about your role? How are you thinking about that?
Well, I think that one of the biggest changes that we are going to see is that the IT department or the CIO or the CTO are not going to be seen anymore as a partner or a service department. I think that we are part of the business. We are a strategic partner, and we cannot think about a CIO or a CTO as somebody outside the board or the management committee, because the strategy is so related with technology nowadays that because everything in the company is moved by technology. So I think that this is the biggest change that we are going to see in the next years.
I guess probably it's going to be about new people, new C-suite level, about this AI and many more people regarding the level of executives, because we are not just about technology, it's more about strategy on technology. So probably we will be seeing that kind of evolution on the C-level executives for companies like many of ours.
No, for sure. You just have a couple of minutes here, but we'll kind of take advantage of the last 2 minutes. And every company's a technology company, everyone's a software company, that type of thing. How do you in healthcare, and then you can say in media, kind of look at technology as not only this a vital part of the business, but kind of explain to us what you think is next, maybe in healthcare, to give us a better idea of what technology looks like in healthcare, and then you can say the same thing for media.
Yeah.
Give us a vertical.
Well, it's going really fast. I think that one of the main focus is to move from product to services. As a company that we have many production plants, it's really difficult to convince people that the important thing is not the product. Nowadays, the important thing is the service. If I ask when was the last time you bought a song or a CD or a movie, it would be many times at all. But nowadays we consume more music, more media than ever. So this means that everything is moving from product to services. We have seen in other sectors. So,
or even a platform approach too, which is kind of how the network operators look at it. But go ahead.
Well, in our case, in a media company, of course, the solutions that we're using and how everything has turned out to be working. And I mean, we have reporters, we have cameras over the field, so of course this is going to keep existing, but who knows? It's going to be a robot who's going to be on the field. So it's actually quite unpredictable in our field, but this kind of new content creation and the social media, it's going to be, we're actually heading right now. So it's a matter of time in how everything is changing, because we are not just watching TV, we are actually looking, of course, on our social media, in our cell phones. So it's going to be something like that.
Well, very good. Thanks for joining us today. I give Adrian and Albert a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you very much. Good job. You're very quick on your feet. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate your time.